Back in the 70s, board games and improv theater had a baby, and it was called the role-playing game. These games allowed a generation of kids to live out their dreams of slaying dragons and saving kingdoms, all while sitting in their bedrooms and basements. Today, gaming has moved into the cultural mainstream, and role-playing games are back with a vengeance. Join us now as 5 of these former kids come out of the basement and onto the internet to experience adventure, mystery, and obscure pop culture references. It's time for Roll for Combat!
Hey everyone, welcome to Roll for Combat. I'm your GM and host Stephen Glicker, and in this week's show, the boys finally finish Book 2 of the Dead Sons Adventure Path, and they start on Book 3. They also hit a milestone. They hit level 5, which we're going to find out is a big upgrade from level 4. Also this week, my GM PC tip is why you should always let your PCs have a couple of really easy fights. So for those of you brand new to this podcast, welcome. We are an actual play podcast where we play the Starfinder Dead Sons Adventure Path. As you heard, we are up to Book 3 out of 6 books. In addition, we also play Starfinder Society games. We also play Pathfinder Playtest Society games. And we have lots of interviews from people from Paizo. Pretty much anything to do with Starfinder or Pathfinder you'll find on this show, although currently we have an emphasis on Starfinder. Now, for those of you who are brand new and joining us, this is an episode where we're going to be doing a recap of what has happened from episodes 1 to 47, also known as books 1 and 2 of the Dead Sons Adventure Path. So if you just want to jump right in and don't want to listen to all those other episodes, which I completely understand, because that's like 60 hours of podcast that you might not want to listen to, you might just want to jump right into the story, I got a treat for you. We have a complete recap of everything that has happened since Book 1. And for those of you who don't want to listen to this, it is about 8 minutes long, so you can just skip forward once it starts, 8 minutes, and you'll get right back to me, and then you could start listening to this week's episode. So with that, take it away, voiceover guy.
Thanks, Stephen. The Roll for Combat adventure begins with our 4 heroes: Hirogi, the Lashunta operative; Rusty, the human envoy; Mo, the Vesk soldier; and Tuttle, the Yoxi mechanic, and his battle drone Cheddar, traveling in a small space shuttle heading towards Absalom Station. These 4 have decided to leave their past lives behind and start a new chapter by joining the Starfinder Society, an organization focusing on unraveling the mysteries of the universe. Meanwhile, Absalom Station is all abuzz with rumors about a deserted ship named the Acreon arriving from hyperspace and towing behind it a mysterious asteroid dubbed the Drift Rock. As soon as this ghost ship and massive asteroid appear, they are both placed under strict quarantine, which only further intensifies the rumors about these puzzling objects. Back at the shuttle, our heroes land on Absalom Station and step right into the middle of a gang war, where their Starfinder contact is murdered right before their eyes. Soon they learn that this gang war is actually a proxy war between 2 larger factions: the Hardscrabble Collective, the scrappy mining clan that owns the ghost ship Acreon, and Astral Extractions, the large, shady corporation that hired the Acreon to explore unknown regions of deep space. With both factions vying to claim the Acreon and the Drift Rock, the Starfinder Society assigns our heroes to investigate the death of their contact and how he was involved with this gang war. After exploring some of Absalom Station, our heroes discover and explore the gang's hideouts and reach an accord with both gangs. The one representing the Hardscrabble Collective they befriend, while the gang representing Astral Extractions, they find their assassin and bring the gang down the only way they know: by sheer force. With the Society assassin dealt with, our heroes successfully accomplish their first ever mission. But there is little rest for our heroes, as they are soon approached by a mysterious figure, an enigmatic and powerful undead bureaucrat named Gavilarsk Nor. Nor explains to our heroes that he's the ambassador from the undead world of Eox on Absalom Station, and has been brought into service to act as a mediator between the two warring factions. After witnessing their quick work with the gangs, he offers our heroes a new job: explore the Acreon and the Drift Rock, learn what happened to the crew, and help him determine who should gain salvage rights to the Drift Rock, the Hardscrabble Collective, or Astral Extractions. Our heroes quickly accept and take a shuttle to the quarantined Acreon, but not before one of the warring factions sends a ship to attack them en route, giving them their first taste of starship combat. After a brief battle, our heroes drive off the small vessel and land on the ghost ship. There, they find no trace of the mining ship's crew, but do find the cargo ship infested with alien monsters and opportunistic goblin scavengers. After thoroughly searching the Acreon with none of the crew to be found, our heroes decide to continue their exploration onto the Drift Rock, which they discover to their surprise to be honeycombed with odd tunnels and rooms. Exploring the alien passageways, they learn the final fate of the Acreon's crew. All were either brutally murdered or transformed into horrific void zombies. Going methodically from room to room, our heroes make quick work of these undead abominations and also befriend a would-be android assassin. Eventually, our heroes discover a huge docking bay inside the asteroid and learn that the Drift Rock is an incredibly ancient fragment of some larger alien structure or artifact, perhaps a weapon or megastructure, though its exact nature remains an enigma. They also discover an abandoned, long-lost ship, the Sunrise Maiden, a ship lost in hyperspace over 75 years ago, which they quickly claim for themselves. With their work done, they leave the Drift Rock in their new starship, only to come under attack from a mysterious ship. Battling their way off the Drift Rock, our heroes discover that the exiled corpse fleet of Eox was behind the attack. Why the attack, our heroes have no idea, but it appears that more and more people are becoming interested in this Drift Rock and where it came from. Eager for more information about the Drift Rock's origins, the Starfinder Society sends them on their next task, a trip to the planet Castrovel, home of some of the best universities in the Pact Worlds, so that they can try to learn about the alien symbols found throughout the Drift Rock. Arriving at Kabarat University of Xenoarchaeology and Xenoanthropology on Castrovel, our heroes have to navigate the politics of academia, which turns out to be trickier than fighting off undead alien horrors. However, with their newfound fame as the Drift Rock Explorers, our heroes manage to convince the university to help them in their research. Eventually, our heroes uncover an obscure pre-Gap reference connecting the alien symbols. Deep in the heart of the untamed Castrovel jungles might be an ancient, forgotten elven temple city called the Temple of the 12, which had supposedly found evidence of an advanced extraterrestrial civilization long ago. In search of the Temple of the 12, our heroes embark on an overland journey through the teeming jungles of Castrovel's western continent. After suffering a stampede of dinosaur titans, dangerous flora and fauna, poisonous mold storms, and invisible beasts, our heroes face their true nemesis, members of the Cult of the Devourer. This doomsday cult are likewise interested in the Drift Rock's secrets and followed our heroes to Castrovel in search of the same secrets. Upon reaching the abandoned and overgrown elven temple city, our heroes must contend with Devourer cultists who have taken over much of the crumbling ruins. After several fights, our heroes defeat the cultists and rescue a kidnapped doctor from the university. With the doctor's help, our heroes learn that these ancient elves had discovered an almost unimaginably immense megastructure called the Gate of 12 Suns, which relates in some way to the drift rock and potentially to an ancient alien superweapon. Unfortunately, the cult of the Devourer is now also looking for the Gate of 12 Suns, and though our heroes might have defeated the cult's agents on Castrovel, those cultists were receiving their orders from a secret asteroid base in the diaspora, and it appears those cultists now have a head start on our heroes in finding this Gate of 12 Suns. A big head start. We join our heroes now, fresh off their victory at the Temple of the 12, racing to find the hidden Devourer base in the diaspora before they can find the Gate of 12 Suns and potentially destroy the galaxy.
Hey, thanks, voiceover guy. So there we go. There is the recap of books 1 and 2. 47 episodes, packed down into 8 minutes. I'm very curious what that's going to be like when we get to book 5 and 6. Hopefully I can still keep it down, or that recap might be like an hour long, because there's a lot going to be going on in the near future. Anyhow, with that, let's jump right into book 3. So last we left off, you guys finished up the adventure, the last adventure, and now you are starting book 3, Splintered Worlds, and a lot happened. You found the bad guys, defeated the cult, rescued Solstarny, came back to the university, went to sleep, leveled up, now you're level 5, and wow, I have to say...
Phew, we're done.
You're done. That's it. New adventure path will start something next week.
What?
Now, you guys, between level 4 and level 5 is a huge level, because first you get 4 pluses to your stats. You increase 4 of your stats by +2. And you just guys got really powerful. Like every level you always level up, and I look at your characters, but I couldn't believe the jump. You guys got everything. You got more resolve points, way more hit points, way more stamina points, way more everything. It just became like a whole new tier, if you will. Why don't you guys tell or review, since none of you know what you leveled up or how you look and feel this morning, and you meet up in the university, why don't you say what you improved upon to make yourselves that much better for the team?
Well, the university, I think, has been good to all of us. I think we all picked up a few languages.
John Statz is playing the Vesk soldier, Mo Dupinsky.
That'll definitely help out with Rusty when he tries to bluff people.
Well, Mo, why don't you start? And I don't know what you mean about bluff, but why don't you go ahead and start?
I heard a tall tale when I heard it was on the mountaintop last time. So I picked up some strength. I needed a little bit of strength. I'm only 21 strength, so Mo's getting a little bit... but he cannot afford the new strength upgrade, which is 7,500 credits, I believe. So that's something he's saving money for. So he hasn't spent anything. But strength, intelligence, constitution make me a little bit more durable, and I think dexterity was the other thing.
Wait a second, intelligence? Are you telling me the university actually worked? Mo actually got a little bit smarter?
Yeah, it actually worked on Mo. He picked up a culture, so he can do knowledge checks on military matters. He actually is not in the negatives for intelligence, so he can help out with mysticism. You know, not too crazy, but it was good.
It's high enough that you can defeat Chris once in a while, which will be oh so embarrassing.
Oh, I don't know about that. Yeah, we have some skills monkeys. Their skills are pretty high, and I also got a feat. I got a new feat. What was my feat? I picked up. My feats are cleave, which I've yet to use. I've only had one opportunity to use it, and I kind of missed it. Yeah, for some reason, all our opponents mysteriously are not adjacent to one another. So cleave has been useless. Coordinated shot has been very good so far, but then the rest is weapon focus, weapon specialization, and vertical focus, which all synergize next to one another. So I'm pretty. I get benefits for every single weapon, and obviously I can use every single weapon. So that's Mo.
Nice.
Why don't you go next, Mr. Operative?
All right.
Chris Beamer is playing the Lashunta operative, Hiroji.
Well, Hiroji also is working on his 3-year degree and has picked up an unusual language since he already has Elvish. He picked up Drow just for the heck of it, so he can speak.
Nice.
Probably never run into a Drow, but whatever. Got much more nimble, tougher, smarter, and more charismatic. Skills are all over the place, got a little bit of everything, but a couple of big things. I'm focusing on the whole sort of mobility theme for this character. For Hiroji's mobility is feats that sort of go into that. One is this new one, is nimble moves, so he can ignore 20 feet of difficult terrain. Seems to be something we run into a lot of, so after that experience with that field of difficult terrain we had to run across while getting sniped at, he wanted to train with that. Allows him to take guarded steps in difficult terrain too, which is nice. But also gets to have something called a cloaking field, which is, think Predator. Think the invisibility shield that Predator had.
Nice.
It literally is that. And it allows him to use stealth in plain sight, and it's very good. And it recharges, so it's he's got a number of rounds, but then it recharges throughout the day. 1 round per minute comes back. And as far as offense, trick attack is where it's at now. It's going to be trick attack all day and all night, because he does now do an additional 3d8 damage on trick attack.
3d8?
Yes.
Whoa.
Yes.
Oh.
So that means 3.
That means 3d8.
Yeah, 3 extra damage.
Yeah,
That's
3
So
extra
with his junky
Right.
little arc pistol, if he hits with the arc pistol with trick attack, he'll do 1d6 plus 3d8 plus 2 damage.
If you hit.
And John, that was very insulting. It's an average over the course of it, so sometimes he's going to do 4 damage, maybe even up to 4 and 5.
It's impossible to do 4 if I hit. It'll be 6 minimum.
I believe 4.
I believe there will be damage mitigation, and you'll do what you did last time. You were the only person I've ever known to actually heal the enemies more than once. More than once.
I know. That's exactly right. And then, I need an upgrade to my weapon. Definitely. I need a new pistol is what I need. But I don't have a lot of money, so I didn't do that. But I do have some cool jump jets attached to my armor now, so that's kind of cool. They're kind of limited, but it does give you a little jump boost and 30 feet flight. And that's pretty much it.
I'll go.
Bob Marquis is playing the human envoy, Rusty Carter.
Look, I think it's great that you all learned so much. But Rusty explains to you all in perfect Elvish that honestly he's the same person that he ever was. I mean, he's look, when you're doing things right all along, there's really no reason to actually develop any new skills. Now, I did pick up one of those jump jet things, but otherwise, honestly, I'm really no different than I've ever been before. Actually, it's I'm just the same extraordinarily competent, combat fighter, diplomat extraordinaire, swashbuckler, operative, soldier, technomage that I've always been. And I think that's actually just what you should all expect.
What?
And I'd like to roll my bluff against the party right now.
Oh.
I heard something about technomage. Oh my god.
Hold on, let me add a d6 to that. Hold on.
Oh, he rolled a 19.
Okay, that's 37 bluff, and that's my explanation to the party.
All right.
So what? You're a technomage now?
Do I get a will save against this?
Well, soldier, operative, tech.
Sense motive.
I mean, don't worry. Yeah, you should sense motive. Go right ahead.
I'll try.
7, but wow.
Okay, Mo, you actually worship me as a god right now. I've got a 5 sense motive and I have a 37 bluff. You actually think that I am your master.
I hear
Nice.
Technomage, and Mo backs off a little bit.
But look, guys, I'm the same guy. I've always been. I'm just here to lead you, and I got your backs, from the front. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
That's fine. And, I'm the same one that I really have ever been. And, I also picked up this little Elvish language. And I also picked up... No,
Are you able to?
I don't want to tell you guys that I learned Oyaxian. Never mind. Ignore that.
Yes.
I only speak Elvish, and that's the only thing that I speak.
I speak
that's-
Eoxian also, by the way.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anything about Eoxian. That's fine. But at any rate, that's I leveled up in about 4 levels since last time we talked yesterday.
Can you do any damage? Is the question.
I've always done extraordinary amount of damage. I've actually been letting you all know that basically, Mo and I have killed pretty much, I think, 80% of all the creatures we've ever run across. And I've certainly gotten the kill shot on, well, about 50%. Hold on, let me do another bluff check. 1 second.
All right. Mo's not even going to try sense. He believes this.
I'm going to re-roll that one. Hold on a second.
Oh my god.
He rolls a 5 for a 21 bluff check.
Okay, there's a 28 bluff on that one. That's okay. Sorry. Hiroji believes. Cleared it by 2 ranks also.
We're just gonna call Rusty Dragon Slayer from now on.
Yes.
Did I tell you that story about when I killed a dragon? Oh, well, I didn't know it had gotten back to you all. I mean, I've been a dragon slayer for quite some time, but I actually didn't know that my reputation had preceded me.
Wow, I guess it does.
You're going to be doing a lot of the talking.
Well, I mean, I'm a peaceful man. I certainly rather talk my way out of a problem than actually ever engage in violence.
You talk real fancy.
Well, we got something for the front of the party at least. Mo will have some company.
Sure, that's great. I'm always right there at your side.
What about poor Tuttle, who's just sitting there quietly?
Well, Tuttle's choices were sort of more geared towards solving past problems, maybe. Also, possible future problems.
Jason McDonald is playing the Yosoki mechanic Tuttle Blacktail and his drone Cheddar.
Stats-wise, I went with the most useful, most combat useful stats. I went strength so it could carry more stuff, dex, con, intelligence. So I kind of played it safe on stats. But then, let's see, for his feat, he took Technomatic Dabbling. So he now knows a few Technomancer spells, just like a couple cantrips. And the one that I thought would be useful would be Comprehend Languages. So he can now, theoretically, it probably, though our luck, it probably still won't work on the alien writing, but, it might come in useful at some point. I thought about taking Magic Missile, but I didn't think it would scale all that well. He also finally gave in to the prevailing winds of this adventure and took a level in Mysticism. Much, with some grumbling. He's not really a fan, but he's kind of recognized the usefulness of it. He also got an augmentation based on his near-death experience climbing the Temple of the 12. He took climbing suckers.
Oh, nice!
So he now has little climbing suckers in his paws. So he has a climb speed of, I think, 20.
Nice.
And that's basically Tuttle. Cheddar only got one thing, but we bring in an exciting new era, the era of the riding saddle. So get ready for your Napoleon on horseback painting of Tuttle and Cheddar riding into battle together because Cheddar now has the riding saddle.
Nice.
I figure. I mean, pragmatically, it kind of helps with the whole movement issue, where I have to choose whether to move me or move him. Now I can just hop on board and we can move both of us together.
I shall now call you Master Blaster.
So those are the main changes to the Tuttle Cheddar combo this level. So
Tuttle Cheddar, Master Blaster.
We are now one entity.
Embargo on.
Which one of you is Master? Which one is Blaster? I'm just checking.
I believe I'm still the Master in this relationship.
Excellent. Okay.
You see, even just from...
The fans might disagree, but I like to think I'm still in charge.
I'm so happy you chose that because it's just such a funny sight to see Tuttle sitting on Cheddar, who's like half goblin with chainsaw wings. It's just nuts. It's just this...
The optics alone were worth the choice.
It's like... You started out so normal. You had like this battle drone. You were like this professor. Now you have a half goblin, half robot. You're learning mysticism. You're riding in the battle. Like, what is going on? You're Buckaroo Banzai, man. What the hell? You've gone insane.
Wait till we're like level 15 or something. He'll be barely recognizable.
No, but he's going to go back to the university. It's going to be like when the hobbits go back to the Shire. It's like, who is this guy? They're not going to recognize you.
He's mystic, and
I mean, you even took some technomancy. That's insane. Little spells. Finally, magic. Oh my god, first time ever. Except for Rusty,
But just
of course.
it was just like the utility ones. I took like the psychokinetic hand, and I took a telepathic message as the cantrip ones, and then I took comprehend languages as the actual level 1 spell.
Now, the hand is cool because you can play a lot of pranks with that hand, let me tell you.
Can you do spellcrafting?
Yeah, he has mysticism.
Oh,
Anyone
okay.
who has mysticism can do
Oh, really?
spellcraft.
Is that what it? Oh,
Yes.
okay.
Yep.
All right. Well, Mo took that.
Mo can do
Even
spellcrafting.
Mo has a chance of
I
helping
know.
you out.
But
Hey,
yeah, after all these moments where does anybody have mysticism, and having to sit here saying no, I figured I finally should take a level.
if it's good enough for Tuttle, then it's good enough for me.
I have
Well,
3 ranks in mysticism.
In Discord, I've uploaded I think an artist representation of you and Cheddar. Now that you have your new ability from the movie Labyrinth, it's obviously the knight.
Oh my god, that is genius. The labyrinth, the knight on the
Yeah, he's the little tiny guy who rides on the dog.
right on the dog. That's totally you. I'm gonna change your picture to that.
Yes.
And he was like the most annoying guy in Labyrinth too.
Oh yes, and the least effective as well. He was the Don Quixote of it.
Zoe, what are these suckers you got, Jason? Climbing suckers.
They actually give me climbing.
cool.
Because I figure since climbing is strength based, I'm never going to be good at it, so I might as well get some help.
Oh, I forgot to say, Dr. Tuttle, the cow got out. Should we close the barn door now? Should we close that door?
There is a little bit of that. I had a twinge of guilt when I was like, boy, I just basically made a really good character for the module for the adventure path we just finished.
Just one module behind.
I also realized that I had 3 days of environmental protection that I never used. So, yeah.
But I like to think most of the things I put invested in are things that are going to come up again. I mean,
Yeah, I'm hoping that we run into difficult terrain at some point again.
I thought about that feat actually, the 20 feet, the ignore
Nimble
20
move.
feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought about that
Yeah,
one,
me
but
too.
I tend to be in the rear, so it doesn't impact me quite as much, and the riding saddle also gets around it.
And Cheddar has jump jets, so you can
Yeah.
be in the
That-
riding
oh
saddle.
my gosh, that is awesome!
I can fly in the riding saddle in short bursts.
That's a get out of dodge maneuver.
That is, oh god,
Jump jets are great.
that riding saddle is the greatest thing ever. I'm so happy you chose that. It's gonna get wacky. That's what I'm
Well,
gonna
and I always
say.
figure if I want to set Cheddar into melee, I can kind of jump off in mid turn or whatever. So
Yeah.
we'll have
Only downside is we got
Tuttle leaping off and like rolling in a ball as Cheddar goes into combat.
You do have kip up, so you can just stand up. Wow, this really worked out well because you can literally jump off, kip up. Man,
deploy the
that's-
mouse.
Yeah, that's good, man. Or Moxie, not kip up, Moxie, but you know what I meant. You can
It's the same thing.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
a
it's the
racial
same
version
thing.
of the same concept.
Yeah. Wow, that is. Yeah, I think we're starting to get the synergies down and starting to figure out, like, it's a new system. It's like anytime you have a new system, it's like when we're playing 10 years, 20, 30 years of Pathfinder, D&D, it's like we knew every single way to build these characters, but now it's like
Oh, yeah.
we're starting to figure out, like, the little intricacies of how to, like, optimize a little better and sort of
In other words, we broke
synergize.
out the serious drugs now.
Well, well, also now you have enough. You're now enough levels that you can actually start fooling around with cool things. So
What I want to know is when you can put on the sidecar on your Cheddar motorcycle, your Cheddar chopper.
Oh, that'd be good.
oh my god,
We could all put on a bunch of sidecars. We could all ride.
Oh yes, you can just stretch those out a bit.
You can't.
Cheddar could have a second passenger, but it would have to be a size smaller than him. So if I had like a pet monkey or something, I could let him ride side.
Ooh, a mini me. of
Like
cheddar.
a Spritle and Chim Chim thing going on.
Well, maybe you can shrink down. We can find someone to shrink down Mo or Rusty or Hiroji.
Or grow Cheddar.
Or grow Cheddar. That's true too. Oh my god, that would be horrible. Like a large size
Ooh, enlarged Cheddar.
Giant size Cheddar.
That'd be great.
I think that's our goal.
Jeez.
That's our main goal in life, I think.
Dream big dreams, my friends.
Oh my god. All right, so you guys sound 5th level. That's the magic level because you guys sound awesome now. Awesome. And everyone attacks.
Well,
better, too.
I'm 8th level at this point. But yeah.
Oh, except for Rusty's 8th.
Right, you're multi-class too.
Well, yeah, it's a complicated build, but I wanted maximum efficiency, of course.
Of course. So, you guys all meet up, compare notes. You guys are scared of Rusty because he looks like a god at this point because he's just glowing from awesomeness. Sure enough, you meet up with Dr. Solstarny and Walos and the administrator. What's her name again? Oh, Mahali. And they are happy to report that everything's in order. They got all their notes. Walos is sad to see you guys go because he understands you're probably leaving at this point. Probably go back to your exciting life in the Starfinder Society. And before he goes, he wanted to give you something. He goes up to Rusty, and he says, Mr. Rusty, here you go. I wrote down all your favorite recipes so that you can make them whenever you want. I have everyone's in there. All the different monkey brains and the monster sushi and that special vitamin kick that I was making just for you, Rusty, to take care of that problem.
No, that's fine. Wayless, this is exceptional work. I'm really very, very pleased. I actually want you to know, even though, of course, I wasn't required to do it, I've written you a letter of recommendation to express to any future employers of yours that you did an adequate job while you worked for them.
Adequate.
Wow.
I hand him a piece of paper and I say that's fine. Now it's in the future I will actually suggest that you try not to be a little so forward, and stand a little farther back. But at the same time, I think you did an okay job.
Wow, that is awesome.
And you, of course, are going to make those recipes yourself, right?
Well, I'll save the recipes and
give it to your next valet.
At some point, my staff will take care of that.
Right,
of course.
Your personal valet will.
Well, thank you, Mr. Rusty. It means a lot to me. Actually, just going on the adventure will pretty much make my career, especially because I survived. How about that?
And that's what you were paid in, was the experience, so that's fine.
Oh, and that's all I expected was experience. I'm quite happy, as I'm quite on my track to full tenure at this point, as, I have experiences that no one else can have. In fact, I've been contacted by some of the leading journals and even some talk shows in the local area to talk about my adventures with you.
I should remind you of the non-disclosure agreement that you signed at the beginning of it. Well, look, you know what? No, whatever you need to do, that's fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh, thank you so much, Mr. Rusty. I think I'll be fine after this all. I appreciate everything you've done for me. And then he also gives everyone in the party a little token of appreciation. It's like a little homemade tchotchke that he just made from some of the things. So there's a little bit of during the adventures. It's like a scrapbook, like a little scrapbook thing he makes for everyone. Something for Mo, something for Hiroji. Hiroji finds little scraps from all the monsters he's killed is in there. And so you have another scrapbook of that. And then for Tuttle, he gives him some scientific items, some leaves and other rare items that you can only find in the jungles that you guys are in, things like that.
Decorate our ship with some of this stuff. This is great.
Yeah. And then for Mo, he just gives you some weapon fragments, things like that. Again, a little collage to remember him by, and the journey you took together.
I'll see you again when I come back for my degree.
Oh, that'll be great. Maybe I can be your TA. That would be fantastic.
Boy, this guy's got big dreams, I'll tell you.
Hiroji will need some tutoring, so that's okay.
Yeah.
I could teach at Starfleet.
Okay, sure. That's great.
Those who don't know. Anyhow, and Solstarny is also super excited. She thanks you so much. She's already planning her next trip back to the temple. She's actually strangely disappointed that she didn't get to stay there longer because she could spend her whole career there, even though it was a horrible ordeal and she was kidnapped and tortured and, was facing death, constantly. Other than that, it was really great, and she's actually happy that she came out of it alive. But she also knows that her career is also now set forever. And she also says, if you guys ever need help with anything, just let me know. I'll be happy to try to give you any information on your continuous quest.
Actually, is there anyone here in the university who knows anything about the asteroid belt?
Oh, yes, of course. You also know that, you do have Space Google, so, you can take a 20 on anything as long as you have connections to the outside world, and you have time. So, but they definitely have people who are experts. Why? What do you need to know? How can we help you?
We've traced a signal to such and such a location, which I show it to her, and any information you might have about that region would be very, very helpful.
Oh, I'll tell you what I can do. I'm going to go check out with some of the associate professors, and I'll get back to you. I hear you're going back to the station, so what I'll do is I'll radio some of the information to you on your trip back, unless you want to stay here for a few days.
Oh, God, no. I mean, no, thank you. That's very kind of you to offer.
Oh, okay. Sounds good. And with that, she, Maholi gives you back, gives you your credits, gives the honorary degree information to Hiroji, so he can
So
come
actually,
back.
it's an actual honorary degree.
Well, you're going to come back for 3 years, and then you'll actually get a full scholarship. It's a full scholarship, actually.
So what is that? Does that have any practical effect?
Yeah,
effect?
yeah. Learned knowledge.
Nice.
You'll find out. It could have a practical effect later on.
How can I do online courses so I can do it quickly?
Sure. She's like, oh yeah, of course we have online. You can start your education now, and there's some of it's like self-paced, so you can start that because there's a lot of those long space flights. It takes you days or weeks even to get places. So yes, excellent. And she's totally set you up with that, so you can start your degree ahead of time. Oh, by the way, what field of study are you interested in, Mr. Hiroji?
Death and destruction.
Death and destruction. Archaeology. Excellent. We got it. We got lots of that. We got alien archaeology, space archaeology. There's 20,000. There's 100 different levels of archaeology. We'll find you the one that deals with death and destruction and the history of killing.
Yes.
I don't think she was really listening, was she?
Yeah,
she was listening.
Mo pounds on the ground with the foot of his pike when he hears that. He likes that a lot. He respects that. That's the first thing that's been said that he understands, actually. So
with that, you guys can go back to your ship if you're ready. I mean, you could stay here and shop. I mean, anything you really need is here. You got some credits. You did buy a few things, obviously. Some of you bought a couple of minor things. Other than that, let me know if you just want to go back to the station. Chiskisk.
We didn't sell anything,
waiting.
Right? We haven't really sold anything.
We sold everything.
You sold everything.
Yeah.
You sold it all.
Wait,
We're done with shopping. We did with selling. We did buying. We're done with all that.
you can buy stuff at Absalom if you want.
Offline later on.
I don't really need to buy anything. I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much everything was all that stuff, like the extra armors, the swords, the guns, all that was sold. Like,
Well, someone kept that 1d10 short-ranged gun, right?
That would be me.
The disintegrator pistol was kept. The D-suit was kept. The psychic booster was kept.
Yes.
Everything else was sold.
I'm waiting for the day that Rusty uses that weapon. He has to be like 15 feet away from the enemy to do that. So,
well, I mean, I've always bravely been as close to the enemy as is practical.
I've been dragging around a arc pistol, and it's not come into play, even though it does spread damage. So,
we want you up in the monster's face.
Yeah. It's anyway. One thing that Mo was going to do, he's kind of cheesed off that these guys got the better of us, and he is keeping tabs on the news feeds for any news about. I think the Starfinder Society is the place to go, but he's also looking to see how wide the news has spread of these guys. I'm sorry, the discovery that they made of about the 12 stars.
Oh, so to recap, I mean, Jason went through it last week with what you discovered. Basically, let's do a quick recap.
Oh, no. Yeah, you can do a recap, but he's more interested in the Starfinder Society's reaction to the news of this.
Well, that you'll probably need to find out when you get to meet Chiskisk, because he's not going to discuss that publicly.
Oh, that's not on an open channel? Okay.
No. But the discovery of the Temple of the 12, that has definitely been in the news, but that's more like been on like page 12. You know, that's definitely not. That's been like fun facts. You know, it's nothing big. It's more like, yeah, oh cool, they found this cool temple and they're doing some research and it was pre-gap. But to be honest, there's a lot of that in the jungle. Like in the Ukalam, that's pretty standard. So this one's kind of neat. But other than, you know, like a few mentions, it's barely been mentioned in the news.
Right. Okay.
And nothing that you guys did was mentioned. Like it's completely washed over. It's like, oh, you guys found this cool thing in the jungle. Doesn't mention you. It just is like a expedition from the university. You know, it's completely like
this is a wrong that is needing of a right. I can see where the next adventure is going. We have to correct this.
Correct it. How
Wait,
so?
next adventure? I thought the Starfinder Society paid us and we're rich and we retire.
No, that hasn't quite happened yet. There's been an injustice and we have to right this wrong. We've been left out of the news. So
how much? Oh, well, that is terrible. I am actually very upset by that. I must
that
admit.
is tragic.
So, anyhow, quick recap of last time, because this is actually kind of the key point, is that you find a Temple of the 12. And the research that Solstarny found, as well as Tahomen, who did send it off to something in the asteroid belt, the Diaspora, and basically found out that the Temple of the 12 was an observation. They actually had telescopes there, and that actually was at the top of the mountain. And they discovered this strange constellation of 12 stars that formed a perfect circle in the sky. And the more they studied the constellation, the stranger their dreams became. And they started to record this odd language they saw and heard. And that odd language is actually the runes that you found on the Drift Rock and in the temples. So this is an unspoken language by even the elves. They didn't know what it was. They recorded it from the Drift Rock. So that's where that language came from. And in conjunction, when they were trying to figure out where this gate of 12 suns is, they think that it somehow had, it either was some power to serve a portal to some super weapon, or maybe it had a demon behind it that would destroy all lives and it was locked up. All they know is it looks like it's a gate to something. So there's either something really, really good behind that gate or really, really bad. And it looks like the Devourers, not the cultists, they want to go and open this gate, or at least find it, because they think there's something really bad behind that gate that can destroy, most, if not all, life in the universe. And obviously, whoever built this thing had insane technology, because they were able to move 12 suns into a circle and then build a portal of some sort. So this is way advanced technology, way millions of years past what you guys can do. Even the most advanced people in the Pack Worlds. This is way beyond your pay grade. So that's it.
In all the confusion, actually, I think I may have just actually missed something or whatever, but did we ever fully translate Zanz's report on the ancient elvish species, which was the actual mission to begin with, that we were going to find that one old report written by a guy named Zanz, who was the only one who ever wrote about those ruins? Did we ever actually, the reason we couldn't translate it is that we needed Dr. Sistarny.
Well, actually what ended up happening is the stuff that you needed to translate would help you get to the Temple of the 12. And what happened is he talked about it in general terms, and he didn't keep all of his notes. And you have the original notes, or she had the original notes. The original notes was used to help decipher what you discovered.
No, I know we had a couple little handouts describing things, and they actually helped. I thought that actually was more that we needed her to translate or get more information.
It was to get the information that I just told you.
Okay. All right,
That's
there was nothing more to Zanz's notes necessarily. It was actually
No.
the temple that had the information. Okay.
In the end, right, Zanz's notes was not a MacGuffin, but kind of a MacGuffin. Like
No, it was a breadcrumb. It was a
breadcrumb, right, yeah,
of
to get
course,
to
I
the
understand.
temple.
No, I'm just making sure I didn't miss that. We had
No.
been told we need to get the rest of his notes and find more information. Yada, yada.
No, like, basically, his notes were no better than... So Starny was, like, better than the notes and the information you found. And everything about this temple was dedicated to this. Like, this portal, these 12 suns, everything is dedicated to this. So you found out as much as you can for now. The rest of it has to do with constellations and prayers and life in the village. A lot of that stuff you don't really need to know nor care about. So.
And the bad guys that are trying to open the gate, is that the death cultist?
Yes.
Okay.
So the death cultists, the cult of the devourer, which pretty much went to...
Right.
And you guys actually know a little bit. Actually, if you guys want to know a little bit about the cult of the devourer, you can do that. You can guys give me a culture check on that one.
Here, allow me
A culture check or a mysticism check? I did a culture.
I can do it. Take a 20 and get 29.
Oh, yeah. Let's take 20s.
Here, let me assist you with my cultural knowledge, which I actually have now.
Well, before the cult of the devourer opens the gate, Mo's going to go through it.
Because there's treasure. So if you assist me, it'll be a 31.
Yeah, I only have... Hold on. I have a +5. Let me just roll a d20. There you go.
So 31.
So, yeah, the Culture Devourer, they're like one of the most feared and rivaled organizations in the Pack world, and clear evidence of its ravages can be found in the fringes of inhabited space throughout the galaxy. Cult's been around for eons, pre-Gap even, and although cells rarely last more than a few decades, its devotees wage a non-stop war to destroy all existence in the name of their god, the Devourer. And in most cases, the cult can be thought of as like a hurricane on a low-tech world. It comes in with little warning, damages or destroys everything in its furious path, and then weakens and breaks apart for no apparent reason. Nevertheless, the Cult of the Devourer is more than a mere storm. It's a widespread interstellar and interspecies organization plotting the downfall of all civilization as part of the broader path to end existence itself. Although the cult is made up of largely anarchists, its efforts are surprisingly well coordinated and carefully considered. Only by understanding the underlying motives through rogue organization of the cult's various cells, divine agents, and sects can the true threat of the Cult of the Devourer be understood clearly. They have no basic headquarters, no leader that you know of. It's very chaotic, and just by the fact that it's chaotic, it's hard to know exactly how they set up or what they just sort of appear and try to kill people and then disappear. They're really just pure chaos. That's all they are, that just wants to kill and destroy and maim. And you guys know that because everyone you've killed, they seem to welcome it whenever they die. They seem to be happy, including the guy Hiroji snipered in the face. So there's lots of sects. There's like different sects and there's different like... You don't know a lot about those, but supposedly there's like different organizations within it. The one thing you do know is that they do specialize in those really nasty weapons, which you managed to get. They have things like those disintegrator pistols that is pure evil and only someone like Rusty, oh that's right, Rusty, would get. And they have disintegrator rifles. They have disintegrator cannons, believe it or not. And
how about a Verteron B disruptor?
That is what those all are. That's what they are. That was just on yesterday. I just watched that episode, by the way. And they even have these weird melee weapons called ghoulish pain claws. They're kind of like almost undead claws that they put on their hands, and then they put injections. You can actually inject poisons and other horrific things into the claws, so they both attack you, scrape you, and then inject you at the same time.
These seem like just lovely people.
Yeah. And they even have their own fusions, things like annihilators and Yeah, they have a bad... Actually, you know what, Chris? It is that. They actually specialize in disintegration techniques, and they even
Nice.
have fusions that will fully disintegrate people on death. So,
Nice.
there you go.
I like that. I want that.
Okay, it's a little above your pay grade. They're very hard to find. And, yep, lots of fun stuff. So there you go. That's who basically is trying to find this gate. So that's who you're sort of after.
When was the actual last? Hold on. I mean, it's an astronomic. It's something that was seen in the sky from probably everywhere in the Pact world. When is the actual recorded year in which somebody actually saw it in the sky?
So what?
The actual gate of 12, the 12 stars that could actually be seen from here. There are 12 stars in the night sky in a perfect circle. There should be an astronomy report somewhere about the last.
That is the interesting thing. Everything you've searched so far shows, nope, there is no idea. It's never been reported. This is the only place it was reported, and they were using mystic techniques and magic, and they did not write down the exact location or where to find it. And so far in all your notes, there's nothing ever been recorded like this. It might not.
It vanished during the gap.
No, it might not be in your galaxy.
Oh, okay. I had thought that actually. Well, it was known.
Oh, so it's not in the night sky.
Yeah.
It's
No.
through a telescope.
It was known of.
That
they
makes
talked
sense.
about it, of course. That's right.
Yeah, they used it and found it through mysticism and divine intervention, and no one has ever seen this or know where it is, and that is actually why they got some of these notes to try to find where this thing is. So right now, otherwise you guys could just go there now, but no one has any idea where this thing is, and it's never been recorded. And put it this way, it's never been recorded in post-gap history. Now remember, the post-gap history of the galaxy, you've probably recorded maybe 0.01% of this galaxy, because what is there, 100 million or 100 billion
galaxies are
stars?
big.
Yeah, you guys...
At least 1,000.
Yeah, at least. But you know what I mean? You have no idea where it could be. It could be the other side. It could be in another galaxy. And you guys do know that you can transmute between realms. There are different realms of existence, the realm of earth and fire and wind and air and all those other realms. And that's what happens when you do drift travel. So this thing could be anywhere. It could be interdimensional for all you know. So.
But okay, I think our new mission now, guys, is we're going to find the Circle of 12, and then we will finally bring order to the galaxy.
Is there money in that? What's that pay?
Once we've harnessed its powers to rule it ourselves. Infinite. All of the money. Well,
All right.
in your case, 5%.
Okay, that's a little bit more like it.
So Rusty's going to the dark side, I think.
I don't know what you're talking about. I'm obviously concerned about all these poor people that might be influenced by this horrible cult that sounds just awful.
Okay. Meanwhile, Rusty's secretly thinking, how do I become the leader of a leaderless cult? Anyhow, are you guys want to go off into your spaceship?
Yeah, let's go to Absalom and find out what these Starfinder guys think of this stuff.
All right. I can't wait to get behind the stick again.
Oh,
It's
God.
been too long.
Yeah, it has.
Ta-da! You guys are back on your ship. Yay!
Where's my captain's quarters?
I immediately sit down in the captain's chair, and I don't budge.
It takes let's see how many days it takes to get back. Oh, it's only going to take one day.
Nice. Rusty, you do know that that's an honorary title, right? It's just
Take your seat off.
It's just
now.
it's a placeholder.
That's it. I'm making an intimidate roll against Hiroji.
Yeah, Mo pretty much believes Rusty is the captain of the ship now.
That was a terrible intimidate. I rolled a 3. I mean, still
3.
17, but all right, that's fine. So maybe
just
he won't
laugh.
obey me today.
Tuttle scrambles the comms so that Rusty's commands come out in really high helium voice.
Sit down and get to your station right now.
I am going to start talking to Rusty in Eoxian just for fun.
Okay.
This is Rusty's reply.
I'm like, I speak this language that no one else speaks, and I want to say some things about Rusty. He smells really bad today. He must have been in the sun for a little too long. The odor is hard to take in close quarters now.
I don't react at all, but I do get up and I go to my quarters immediately, and I check.
Wow. So the chair's up for grabs.
I will fucking command.
Mr. Cheddar, you have the con.
Security.
Yes.
All right. So one day goes by. You still don't get the information back from the university, from Solstarny, because it's only been a day. You guys get back pretty quick. And you are back on the station. Ta-da! You're back on Absalom Station. So,
Excellent.
you have been ordered or requested to go see Chiskisk as soon as you arrive.
Let's go.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's our first stop.
And ta-da! You're at Chiskisk's office.
Oh wow, Mo's already sitting down.
Mo's already sitting down. He's already getting the donuts and coffee.
Yeah,
He's putting his
oh,
feet
yeah.
up.
He got there a little early, and all the best donuts have been taken for.
Oh man, I like a Bavarian cream.
Oh, those are so long gone. Bavarian creams are gone. Sorry, they just
All it's left is
half
the
day.
powdered sugar, the dreary powdered sugar donut.
Or like the dry cinnamon ones.
Or anything with coconut.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you got the coconut donuts.
Well, good morning, Mr. Chiskisk. Ms. Chiskisk. Good morning, Chiskisk. Whatever.
Chiskisk looks over to you. The host, Sharon, looks at you and seems to be distressed, actually.
Uh-oh, what'd we do?
Chiskisk
I
looks
didn't do
at you all and says, yes, we have been following your progress and looked at all your notes and data, and I can tell you that we are extremely concerned at the prospect of the Cult of the Devourer finding a weapon like this stellar degenerator that we too believe this might lead to. The stellar degenerator was something we found in the archives, something of myth and legend that could actually destroy an entire solar system. Something like that was obviously locked up behind something as impenetrable as a gate of 12 suns, but with now some information leaking, I can only imagine it's a matter of time before others start to get involved in this hunt. And Chiskisk looks around, and its antennae sort of like move back and forth in clear agitation. I must insist that you go to this cult's base in the diaspora so that the Starfinder Society can determine just how much information the cult has and how its members might be planning to act on it. And if nothing else, the find of the Gate of the 12 Suns and the Stellar Degenerator would be such a major discovery. It would be an achievement of historical proportions, both for you and the Starfinder Society. You would go down in the annals of history as the greatest explorers ever.
All right.
Intriguing.
That's a well and good for a start.
What Mo is trying to say.
Yeah, I mean,
Mo needs to get paid. He's
it's hard to put a figure on this, but
Chiskisk. Mo's being very crass. What he really means to say is, with incredibly dangerous and intricate problems, we're going to need more effective means to actually fight them.
Yes.
Which involves sometimes some investment.
it's awesome.
Yes.
That is a great bluff.
I fully understand, and we have putting together sponsors and other interested parties to help fund this expedition. If you go to the diaspora and see what you can find out, I promise you each a reward of 2,000 credits each, and in addition, we are setting up shop to retrofit your ship so we can improve its functionality and increase at least double its firepower and capacity.
Oh, that's more like it. That's what we like.
That is better, I must admit.
Yeah, Mo is on board with the powerful ship. How long is that something that we do before we set out, or is that something that you're going to have to set up first And
No,
you know,
what we should do is we're going to be setting up and finishing up the final touches on the upgrade bays, and we will send you the information, and you can put together a wish list of parts and materials you might wish to install on your ship, and we will explain what we have access to. So from a metagame point of view, we will go through and you guys can level up your ship the same way you can level up your characters.
woo-hoo.
Nice.
And do we have to phrase this wish so that it can't be misinterpreted?
It's actually going to be very easy. In shipbuilding rules, you have tiers, and your ship is currently at tier 3, and tier 3 have a certain number of build points. So everything on a ship requires build points. So better weapons, better armor, like everything just requires more. So it's like Master of Orion or any of those games you played. Like, oh, you want this type of weapon? Well, that costs this. And you guys can sort of mix and match and decide how you want to build the ship. And so, for example, if they, like, I forget how much your ship might have something like, let me look. I'll tell you real quick.
I want a tier 11 ship. That is my first wish.
See, I'm actually now worried about most concern. I'm thinking, like, I want the biggest and most deadly guns possibly on the ship, and it turns out they point inward towards the cabin at us. At all
Sure.
times.
Yeah.
You have a tier 3 ship, which gives you 95 build points, which was already built. And you'll probably get like a tier 5 or 6 or maybe even 7 ship. Probably 6. That's 155 build points. You literally get another, what is that? 60 build points. Sorry, 60 build points to fool around with. And we'll go through this, like how you guys do this. But you guys can build the ship to your specifications. Whether you want to have more powerful scanning or more powerful shields or better weapons. There's a lot of cool things you can add to your ship.
Yeah, I and maybe take some stuff away too, because I think we have some of the guns we have seem pretty junky. Like the ones that, I mean, the turret is great, but like all the other guns are not good.
Well, yeah,
Maybe add it, like get rid of the front forward facing
flanking.
gun.
Well,
get another turret. Get some missiles.
we got to look at our options.
This is something we can work on now, and then when you come back, assuming you come back, or after you finish your little trip to the asteroid belt, you guys can upgrade your ship. For now, you should be fine with what you have.
Okay, so we're not doing this now, right?
No, it's going to take forever. So
Okay.
it's not something we can do that offline. It's a whole new system, and it's pretty involved. Because
You mean not in the core rules?
it's in the core rules.
Oh, okay,
But it
okay.
basically you have points, and then you use those points to build up the ship. But there's a lot of things you can build
Right,
up.
it could be the computer, the
Yeah,
drive,
yeah.
the shield, the hull.
We're a Pact World style,
Your
correct?
what?
We're a Pact World style ship, correct?
Yeah, your ship, its frame is preset. There's a couple of things like you can change. Like you can't change the frame, and it automatically has like hit points. Certain aspects of the ship are automatically built because you have the frame. It's really more to do. Really, it's going to be like the weapons. It'll be the weapons and some other cool capability. Yeah, like other offensive capabilities or cool defensive capabilities. But just the actual, or even like the energy, like how much power, because like the more power you put into it, the better the shields. But then you can't have as many weapons. You'll see. It's exactly like building a ship in like any of those online games, like the 4X games, like the Moo games, things like that. So.
Can we build a Delta Flyer?
Sure, if you want.
A shuttlecraft.
I want to build a
Yeah, that's
Galaxy trucker and tow a lot of cargo.
Okay.
I'd like a captain's escape capsule.
Yes. So your little, it's like a little capsule that just appears around your seat, and then there actually are escape capsules on the ship, by the way. So
Yes.
Yeah, we want an escape capsule that will take Rusty to safety. He will just drift. He will just drift along. While the ship continues to move, we'll just drop him.
yeah. And you guys do have the holo suites. You do have the holodeck there.
Oh yeah, I spent a lot of time in there.
Yeah, it's a little.
It's not
disturbing.
real. It's not real.
It's really disgusting in there.
Yeah.
All right, so
Anyhow.
all right, so the ship stuff happens later.
Ship stuff will happen later. 2,000 credits each will happen later.
I like that.
Oh, what? Not up front? Not up front?
No, not yet. And Chiskisk needs time to gather the resources, and we're gathering sponsors and additional parties concerned about the cult's threat. Keep in mind, the Starfinder Society is still rebuilding, so we need to spend some time and show them the threat that is in existence.
They also have to hold a bake sale.
Yes, that too.
Astral Extractions has deep pockets,
Oh, yes, yes.
Yeah, I still actually prefer the
hard Scrabble or whatever.
yeah the
collective.
Union. The Union boys. I honestly think that A, they're probably all criminals, which means they have better contacts, but also they're probably more widespread and have fingers in more pies at all levels of society.
Anyhow, so with that, is there anything else you wish to buy or get before you go on your your mission?
Wait a minute. Where are they sending us?
Oh, yes. You actually get some information back.
let's pay attention now to the environment before we actually just go.
So, you do get the information from Castrovel, from Solstarny, and she was able to determine the approximate location of the Devour cult's base in the Diaspora. It appears to be somewhere in the treacherous stretch of several hundred asteroids known as the Field of the Lost.
Okay, sounds great.
Sounds like an awesome place. Let's see.
Excellent directions. Great.
We need.
Fortunately,
we want to know more.
yes, there's a reliable drift beacon that floats just outside this region of the asteroid belt, but without an exact location, you're going to have to search the Field of the Lost for clues to find the Devour cult's base. There's several hundred asteroids. It was on one of them, and you need to figure it out. As for the asteroids themselves, they range anywhere from completely airless to some of them are big enough that they have a thin atmosphere or low gravity. You would think, they think that this was probably most illegal bases are usually put on asteroids with thin gravity with low gravity or thin atmospheres. Thin atmospheres you can actually breathe in, but you have to take a fortitude save or you can get fatigued. But don't forget, you guys do have your suits, and those do work in space. So even if there is no atmosphere, you should be okay.
All right.
What do you mean by low gravity? Do we have a figure for that?
Yeah, if you have low gravity, a lot of these low gravities you can carry like 2, 3, 4, 5 times more, and you can jump really high, and your thrown weapons go like 10 times farther.
Nice.
That's basically it. Yeah, I mean, it's going to be somewhere in there. If you have any specific questions, feel free to ask, or you can look it up yourself.
Well, now I'm thinking about some falcon boots right now. Those, I think, are a little still pricey.
We have mag boots that we come with.
Yeah. The
What-
thing
what-
about
what-
Falcon
what
Boots, Falcon Boots allow you to set your own personal local gravity, basically perpendicular to any surface. So you can just walk on any surface. That's cool. But as we learned the hard way, you can work, with your suits and your armor. First, you can survive in void of space.
Right.
And a lot of these places could have anywhere from no sunlight to dim to regular sunlight. Just depends where they are. They're asteroids. They can be anywhere. They can be in permanent shadow. They can be facing the sun. They could, it's completely random what you got.
Okay. I'm just thinking about what we might need for this, equipment-wise.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I've got infrared sensors. Okay, so that's good for that, for the no light. Trying to think of what else.
Okay, so Falcon boots are 3,000.
Oh, never mind. That's a lot.
Yep.
Is that in the core rules?
No, that's in Adventure
'cause it's-
Path
I can't
1.
find
I
it.
was gonna say, I was gonna say Pact Worlds or something.
Yeah, it's in. I actually
Okay.
have. Here, I'm going to give you this. Well, there's a thing that I have. I have access to everything. So it's also in Hero Lab if you just buy everything.
Yeah, so we all have a space flight, space suit. What's the space station flight gear or something? It's not on my character. It's never been on my
What do you mean?
character.
Space station flight gear? No,
Yeah.
What do you mean? Spacesuit flight gear? No.
I'm looking for it. Hold on.
Look under F, flight suit station wear.
That's it. Flight suit station wear.
Ah,
I think it was something we started with.
Yeah, I
But-
think that's like the cheapest starter armor you could get.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you didn't get it because you had better starting armor.
Maybe, yeah. I just thought it was I thought it was an outer. I thought it was outerwear, like the, just like, common clothes or something like that.
So you guys met with Chiskisk. You got the dealio. You kind of know where to go. There's a jump beacon right outside this field of the lost where there's only a couple of 100 asteroids you need to search. It won't take long at all. And yeah, you're gonna buy anything, or are you guys just gonna go and call it a day? Let's see what happens.
We're not. I don't think we're gonna buy anything, right? We're done with that.
Yeah, I don't know the gear well enough.
buying and selling is done offline. It's done.
Yeah.
Okie dokie.
Rusty spoke, so that must be the case.
No, it's what we've all agreed to 3 times and never done.
I'm just talking about if there was like things you wanted to buy quickly, like
Yeah, we
healing
didn't know what
serums,
the
things like
environment
that.
was before
Yeah,
we
yeah, that's
got the
completely
new
legitimate.
message. Got the new mission.
That's what happens when you got a captain, a rogue captain, out of control with power.
He is out of control. Anyhow,
Well, no, it's a player request. It's not the character.
all right. So you managed to jump back into your ship, get it all fueled up, get some food and fun times, some board games, everything else. You find the beacon that you can jump to. It's going to take 6 days to get there, so you got a little bit of time to spare.
Well, I got 6 days of doing my online classes.
That's right. That's right.
Xenoarchaeology.
That you mean your University of Space Phoenix?
Yes.
Yeah.
Xenoarchaeology.
Mo is going to ask Rusty, where is his captain now?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm in my quarters at the moment.
Knock, knock, knock.
Oh, come in.
Hello. I
Yes,
would like to know if I'm okay sleeping where I was before, which is across the hall.
Yes, that's fine. Actually, to be honest, we can now call that your room.
Oh.
Well, we'll need to share it with
Oh,
one of the other
good.
crew, of course.
Thank you, sir. All right.
Of course. As you were.
All right. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Mo's not selling like Girl or Vest Scout cookies. Girl Vest cookies.
We actually could
Lizard
all have our
Scout?
own rooms. Like,
Well, they have 2 beds in each one. They're intended, obviously, to be shared.
yeah, but there's only 4 of us, though.
Well, 5 if you count Cheddar. So-
Yeah, Cheddar's not going to get his own room.
Well,
Cheddar should be
there's
a cargo
engineering.
bay.
There is engineering.
Actually,
yeah,
Cheddar can
cargo
actually
bay.
can run the ship while all 4 of us sleep. I think that makes
Oh,
sense.
that's a good idea. Yeah, yeah.
Autopilot.
Yeah, there's the
I'm not
answer.
sure he's that advanced. He's a smart guy, but I'm not sure he's that advanced.
Only one way to find out.
That's actually a big discussion on the Paizo forums is can a drone act as a crew member in combat? And the answer has been no.
Definitely no.
Yeah.
Well, of course.
Can you hire henchmen like crew? Because it seems like we are under crewed in a way.
You could. The ship can handle at least 6. Yeah, you could. Well, look at if you see there are 6 escape pods, so there you go.
There's 7 beds.
How
too.
much do you know offhand? As you know, this is maybe too late to ask, but how much would a crew member cost for a 6-day voyage?
Well, I don't know.
I mean, if it's like 50 credits, then why not?
Give me a check.
I like to have a better edge.
This is a nice ship. It's nice.
I don't know. I would have to look it up, and it wouldn't be
Yeah,
that
I
cheap.
didn't think you knew.
Yeah, I don't
It
know.
doesn't have to
There
be
actually is
offhand.
rules for
No.
that, but I gotta have to look that up. It's not that
That's
cheap,
fine.
and it's per day. It's better to find a wall hulse and find. Oh, by the way, while you guys are traveling through space, and Mo, who's like said he's keeping track of things, you do read that Woolholz just signed a huge deal to publish all those recipes from the adventures in the jungles, and it's going to be Woolholz's Jungle Safari.
Wow. Let's
Wow,
hope
yeah.
it's worth it to him because it's going to cost him his life.
Are we going to get a cut of that?
Yeah,
God.
that's the question.
No, of course not. It's actually going to the university. All proceeds, he said, were going to go to the
Oh, of
university and
course.
charity.
You mean all profits, and then he does creative
Yes.
accounting so that 80% of the income is not profit. Yeah, okay, right.
Rusty, get on the long range subspace to your lawyer, please. Let's get this worked.
Yes, I want to do that. In fact, I want to hire a lawyer. I have some credits left.
Space lawyer.
Well, keep in mind, so far everyone's been doing well. Let's see, Clara has, she's been doing fantastic. The Goblin who survived, he also has a cooking show, but he's on TV. Woolholz has a cooking book deal, and Solstarny has enough research to last her a lifetime. You guys are really doing good work. You guys everywhere.
We got a Midas touch for everyone except ourselves.
Exactly.
That's right. You guys, whoever hangs out with you, either ends up dead or really rich and famous and powerful.
Yeah. And it seems more often the rich and powerful thing. Yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Anyhow, do you guys do anything else in your 6-day voice?
Just study. I study my classes.
All right.
Lots of calibrating the sensors.
Is that a euphemism for something?
I just know they do that a lot on Star Trek.
That's right. Calibrate the sensors. Calibrate some more. Calibrate. Take care of those tachyons. Okay. You
Clear
jump.
some manifolds or something. I don't know.
You jump out of drift space, and sure enough, there you are in the remote and relatively hostile area of the Field of the Lost. Ahead of you, you look on the view screen, and sure enough, hundreds of asteroids, all different shapes and sizes. What are you going to do?
I say, all crew members report to the bridge, please.
There's
I'm sure
hundreds.
we're completely safe in an area of space known for space pirates.
Yeah, everyone to the bridge. We got all hands on deck.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Hiroji, for gathering the crew. I'll take it from here. I'd like
man.
you all to man your stations and give me a status report.
There are hundreds of asteroids. We were not prepared for this.
Actually,
Hundreds.
fun fact, there are tens of thousands of asteroids, Mr. Mo. More than you actually could possibly imagine.
Oh, wow. His mind is blown.
I'm sorry, excuse me. I was human-splaining to you. What I meant to say was there are hundreds around here. Is that correct?
Well, yes, the asteroid field itself is gargantuan, and there's even small cities and towns throughout the diaspora. But this area is known as the Field of the Lost. Ahead of you, you see irregular chunks of rock and ice, and occasional ominous fields of green and blue floating through an empty void, with the vast field of stars for a backdrop. There are hundreds of asteroids in this area near this drift beacon. So where this occurred, you have sort of a coordinate where you can search, but it's going to take a while. Like, it can take days, weeks. It's going to take a while to find.
There's a beacon, right? That's what we're looking for?
No, the beacon is what brought you here. The drift beacon brought you to this area, so now you're in the area, but now it's the equivalent of a needle in a haystack.
Oh.
So can we do let's do the data thing. Let's start scanning for life signs. Eliminate all asteroids that don't have any.
Life.
I'll design a search pattern.
Yeah, actually,
Sure.
This is all you, isn't it, total?
Yeah, you can give me a computer's check to figure out what you're going to do and how you want to approach this tunnel. Well, tell me what you want to do, and then we'll do the computer check. That's how it's going to work.
Basically, I want to kind of design a search pattern starting with like the larger asteroids, scanning for signs of outposts or colonies or anything like that.
Okay.
Sweep the sector for loot.
19 on your computer's check. So you manage to program it, and you start the arduous task of scanning the asteroids, trying to see if there's any trace
Commencing
remnants.
scan, grid 143.
Exactly. Well, it's like 001, Sol 002, 003. You're just going through them all. This is going
Actually,
to take a
quick
while.
math. In one day, we'd go through 3,600 if it's 1 second like that.
No, it's not, because you actually have to fly through and actually go and take time out. It's no more like a few minutes per, so it's going to take a little while. After an hour of going through and scanning, Mr. Tuttle notices a few peculiar blips on the starship's instrument panels that indicate irregular movement.
Okay.
Like asteroid movement or ship movement or...
You double check the blip, and you believe it appears to be a ship of some sort.
Hmm.
There are red dots coming towards us.
General
Alert, we're the green dot. I think we're the green dot.
sound general quarters.
Whichever one of you idiots is captain, I think we've got company.
Battle stations.
All right, battle stations.
Hey everyone, Steve here. So there we go. The intro to Book 3 of the Dead Sons Adventure Path is complete. I do really like when we go from a new book, an adventure path. As you guys know, we've been playing adventure paths for a long time, and I've played many of them in the Pathfinder system. But the big difference between Pathfinder and Starfinder is in Pathfinder, when you go from book to book, usually you'll change locales, but it's still in the Pathfinder world, so it's usually not that big of a difference. Usually sort of the mood might change, the location, but in the end, it's still, well, I don't know, it's still in the Pathfinder world of Galarian. But the nice thing about Starfinder is that you can go anywhere. For example, Book 1, they were like in an urban environment, and then like on a ghost spaceship, and then this like asteroid. And then obviously in Book 2, they were in a university setting, and then they were in these Castrovelian jungles. Now in Book 3, they're going to be going to, well, an asteroid field again, but this one is going to be different, trust me. And then who knows? They're going to go really in different locations. And even you heard that they were not prepared when they went to the jungles of Castrovel, because they didn't quite realize how different the environments were going to be and how much they really had to pay attention to that. And if you listen to our interview with John Compton yesterday, he even mentions that in Starfinder you really have to pay attention to where you're going, because there can be some real differences in the environment. For example, you can be in 0G environment, or you can be in a very cold environment, or you can be on a lava planet, or you can be in the jungles. And the way we play is I make sure that they have to have the right suits. You know, you see that in Pathfinder once in a while, but it's really mostly ignored. But I'm noticing in Starfinder that the environment really does play a big part in the game. And you're going to see that in Book 3 quite a bit. I'm telling you right now, the environment is going to play a major role throughout this book. So, as for my GM PC tip this week, I'm going to talk about easy fights and why you should always have them for your PCs. Now, this actually happened in this week's show, which is not going to air for a while, but the guys were going around, they were exploring an environment, and they actually did it kind of differently. They kind of already did some of the harder fights, and somehow, I'm not exactly sure what happened, they missed the easy fight. Now, usually, the way these adventure paths are written is usually, I don't know, it's kind of usually they have a medium fight, and then usually a couple of easy fights, and it's usually a mixture of like easy, medium, and then usually, obviously, you have the boss or the mini-boss fight at the end. Somehow these guys, of course, did it the wrong way, and they ended up having one of the easiest fights left at the end, after they already went through some of the crazy, nasty fights. And I was thinking to myself, you know, maybe you should just skip this fight. I don't know, it's a waste of like half an hour or an hour for them to do this fight. I don't know, maybe I should skip it. But you know what? It's good to throw in those easy fights, and I'm going to tell you why. The first reason is, the most obvious one is, sometimes you just got to let the PCs win a fight. Not just win it, but absolutely destroy the monsters and feel good about it. Because I tell you, especially in the Starfinder system, the numbers are really tight. And it can get really annoying when you're rolling a 12 or 13 or 14 and you're still missing the monsters. Because at the higher levels, you really need good numbers to hit them. And you do that round after round after round of missing, it can really wear down your players. And every so often, you need a fight where they're going in, the monsters aren't that hard. Even if the monsters crit them, it's not going to do that much damage. It's not going to one-shot them. And they can roll a 7 and still hit the monster and do damage. It's good. It's sort of like a palate cleanser. As a GM, you can go crazy if you know that these monsters are just not that strong. You can go all out. You can do the crazy attacks. You can do double attacks. You can have them do flanking. You can pull out every special ability they have. And deep down, you know that you're probably not going to kill the PCs, or at worst, you're going to seriously damage them, but they're not going to die. And you can really let it all out. And then the PCs, they get to have fun. And you can actually usually hear in their voices, they're jumping around, they're having fun, they're like talking to each other, they're challenging who's going to kill the monsters first. Again, it's nice to just have an easy fight once in a while. And although it is tempting to skip the fight or secretly make the fight harder and add more hit points or add a new monster that jumps in or a pit opens up underneath them or something like that, but you know what? Don't do it. Just let them have an easy fight once in a while. It makes everyone feel good. It will even make you as a GM feel good, trust me. And just do it. Get a couple of easy fights in once in a while. I'm not saying every fight should be easy. It's also pretty nice to have an easy fight after they've had a couple of really hard fights that they just want to have a win. And the other thing is, they don't know it's going to be an easy fight. That's the thing. When a PC comes in, I've seen this many times. This actually happened to these guys. Remember, they fought the undead elf, and they were thinking, okay, there's 5 of us. There's one guy. How hard can he be? And this guy was going to just destroy them because he was way above their pay grade. I've seen them also then go the other way, where there's 5 guys and they're fighting like 10 creatures, but I secretly know that these creatures aren't that hard, and this is going to be a really easy fight for them, and they get in really worried that, oh, there's 10 creatures, they're going to kill us, and then one of them goes down after like 2 hits, and they go, oh, that was easy, and then before you know it, they're all having fun, and they're challenging who's going to take which one down, and they're just running around the battlefield, taking attacks of opportunity because they don't care, because they know that's not going to kill them. So, again, it's nice. It brings camaraderie to the group. It makes everyone sort of joke and relax. And like anything, everyone likes to win. So make sure you always throw in a couple of easy fights. Sometimes I'll even throw in an easy fight that's not even scheduled and just sort of throw it in there once in a while. Definitely do that with your guys. Everyone will appreciate it. So we got some show notes. For those of you who are curious, yes, we are going to be doing some Pathfinder playtest. We do have a few shows recorded. The issue is it's August. Everyone goes away. I'm going away. Bob went away. John's going away. Everyone is away, and it's hard for us to do everything. We do have to continue recording Dead Sons. We got to finish this one up, so this one always takes highest priority. And actually, a lot of people now want to do Society play, so I got a lot of those. And then obviously the Pathfinder playtest, I got to do that as well. So do look for those in the near future. I promise they are coming. Just pay attention to the podcast. We do have a lot of interviews coming up. I actually have an interview with Joe Passini coming up in a few weeks. He was one of the developers on Starfinder, and we're going to talk about Starfinder stuff, so look for that on the show. I know for a fact I'm also going to be talking to some of the other developers on the Pathfinder playtest. They have already been in contact with me, so I just got to work that out once I'm back from vacation, and I'll get them on the show very soon. In addition, don't forget, we have a new podcast every Tuesday, and we have Jason's Talking Combat column every Thursday. So do check that out every week on the website. Do subscribe to us on iTunes and Android. And I do say, please, 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 please review the show on iTunes. It helps us out a huge amount. I see every week I ask for this. A few people do go on review it. It's really easy. It's really fast. Even if you don't use iTunes, I know a lot of you use Android. Do just quickly make an account. Just write something nice. If you like the show, it helps us a lot in the rankings. Also, big news on our Discord channel. I say it every week. We have a Discord channel where we play games and we talk about, well, everything Paizo related. Well, this week we were officially made a lodge. What that means is we're officially recognized to do Starfinder and Pathfinder Society games on our Discord channel. So if you go to discord.rollforcombat.com, you can join our games. We have a whole bunch of Pathfinder playtest games going on right now. I know they're starting up some new Starfinder games. They're talking about doing some live games. I was just turned into a venture assistant, which means we're now officially recognized by Paizo, and we can take place in things like game day, get special boons, special prizes, things like that. So the Roll for Combat Discord channel is now an official lodge for Pathfinder and Starfinder playtest. So do check that out. Also, don't forget to check us out on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Check out our Reddit channel. Check out our Patreon. We actually have a whole bunch of new people on there, and we're actually going to be redoing a little bit as well. And don't forget, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to write us. There's a forum on the website, or you can go to the Discord, because I'm there all the time, and I can answer any questions you might have. If there's a topic you would like me to cover on the PCGM tips, let me know. I'd be happy to cover a specific topic. Otherwise, I have to go pack, because I'm going to be leaving on vacation very soon. I will talk to you and see you guys next week.
You've been listening to Roll for Combat, a Starfinder actual play podcast. If you have a question or comment for the show, please visit us at rollforcombat.com or drop us a line at contact@rollforcombat.com. You can also find us on Twitter, Facebook, Discord, and other social media platforms. You've been listening to Roll for Combat. Until next week, always remember, it's evil. Don't touch it.